Students. Okay. So now we have come up with a series of OET lessons which will be conducted on every Monday on every modules. Wherein like first week we'll start with reading, second week we'll focus on listening, third week on writing, and fourth week on speaking. Now the reason why we are coming up with the series of lessons because we got to know like a lot of students are struggling with their classroom lessons because due to the lengthy work hours and due to the current pandemic situation, most of them are not unable to travel to the center. So this series of lessons will add benefit to your preparation, will make sure you learn skills, comprehension skills will be focused for reading, your listening questions will be discussed live, and also we will discuss challenging writing case notes, which will give you a real insight, which will make sure that you understand the approach which is required when you're writing your OET writing examination. We'll have live letter discussion wherein I'll show you how to write your paragraphs, how should you relate it according to the assessment criteria, and how well you can connect your paragraphs one after another. So make sure you take benefit of this, share this video with your friends. Also subscribe to a YouTube and Instagram channel where you will be updated about the upcoming lessons, and you can make sure even you're benefited as well as your friend is also benefited in preparation for OET. Now today the plan for today is like we're going to do a reading live lesson for part B. Series of 6 questions we'll be doing, in which we will try to focus more on the approach you would have when you are doing your OET reading in part B and part C. What kind of approach is required, and how will you make sure that you understand the question well, and what will you do when the question is in front of you? Now, you will have limited time. Now, today I'm going to give you 2 minutes for each question. Now, the method what we would use in multiple choice question is QTO. First, you would read the question, then you will come to the paragraph, try to read it, understand it, and then come to the options. There are multiple ways of doing it. The best method is to try to understand the overall meaning, but make sure you do a quick scan of your given paragraph. Do not waste your time in reading each and every line. That's not required. Make use of keywords. And keywords are nothing but the noun and verb of the question. Underline the noun and underline the verb which is there in the question, and go and find in your paragraph where can you find that keywords. Now those keywords can also be in the synonym form, but you will have to understand where it means the same. Okay, so I'll give you exactly 2 minutes. You can do this live lesson with me, this live session with me, because that will definitely benefit you, and you will also understand if you go wrong, where you went wrong, why didn't you get the answer. So that's something what we are going to focus on. Okay, now I'll give you exactly 2 minutes from now. Go for it. Read the question carefully in this test. $30 done. We have 1.5 minutes. Now the question says, according to the extract, to prevent the spread of infection, emergency department isolation rooms. So try to see which are the keywords over here. Emergency department isolation rooms can be your keyword. Try to find first where can you find emergency department. Anywhere in the passage you can find emergency department. Nearby to that your answer would be there. Try to find that. I'll give you 1 more minute. I'm sure by now many of you might have found the answer, and I'm sure you got the right answer. $30 to go. Perfect. So the time is up. Now we can see over here, the keywords over here is emergency department and isolation room. You will have to scan through the passage and find where can I find emergency departments over here. An exception is an emergency department where it is recommended that designated isolation room to be located near the entry to promote the spread of possible airborne infection throughout the unit. Now, you should always, the best method to do such kind of question is to eliminate the options. Let's do one by one. The first option says should be placed away from the main doors. Anywhere can you find related to the main doors? I can find something word called as main entrance. But is it talking about emergency department isolation room? It just says in general, multiple isolation rooms should be clustered and located away from the main entrance of the unit. So it is, the information given is correct, but it is not exactly what is asked from you. So this is a semi-relevant information. We will eliminate it. Are more numerous than those of other departments. You will not find this information anywhere in the paragraph. So that's completely irrelevant. Out to be situated near where people enter the unit, that exactly matches the information which is given to you. So the correct answer over here is C. So this is the approach that you should always have. Eliminate the options, things will be more simple for you. And this is my aim to teach you this technique because this will make your part B and part C very clear and easy. Next question. What does staff need to be conscious of when working in anti-rooms? There are three options. Keeping used and unused medical clothing apart, ensuring the ambient pressure in the room is minimum 15 Pascal, keep the door closed all the time. So use the eliminating technique. Be very quick in choosing the right answer. Do not waste your time in reading each and every line. That's not required. Our job is to find the answer. So 2 minutes, be quick. Here we go. In 30 seconds, you should have an idea what could be the answer. The question is very clear. What the staff need to be conscious of? Try to understand. Try to eliminate one by one, starting from the option C. Last 10 seconds to go. I believe by now everyone might have got the answers. Okay, here we go. Now, what does the staff need to be conscious of when working in anti-rooms? That's something you will have to be very clear. Try to go option by option and try to understand it. Now, the C option says, keeping the door closed at all the times. Do you find anything related to this? Now, this is a simple way. There are other approaches to do it. If you can understand the overall meaning, you directly read three options and try to sort which is the right answer. That's the easiest method. But if your reading skills are that good, I'm doing this for the people who are struggling with the reading. I'm giving you a simple technique which you can use, that is eliminating the options. Keeping the door closed at all times. Can you find anywhere which says about the door? I can find one word over here, door. So I'll see which is the nearest punctuation what I have from here. So whenever you identify a keyword from the options, try to see which is the nearest punctuation before that word. So I can find the nearest punctuation is over here, full stop. So I'll start reading from this first word. Anterooms increase the effectiveness of isolation rooms by minimizing the potential escape of airborne nuclei into a corridor area when the door is opened. My question is what staff need to be conscious about. But this option what is given over here, the opposite information what is given over here is describing about anteroom. It's describing the characteristic of anteroom. So that doesn't match with my question. So I'll eliminate the C option. That is nowhere given. It's completely irrelevant. Nothing it says about this particular given information. That's not the information which I'm looking for. Second option says ensuring the ambient pressure in the room is a minimum of 15 Pascal. Now over here I've got a number, so that becomes a keyword for me. I'll quickly look into the paragraph and see that do I find something with the number 15. So I quickly go and I find, okay, I find it over here 15 Pascal. Now I'll find the nearest punctuation before this word. So I find the nearest punctuation is over here, which there is a full stop. So the pressure differential between rooms should not be less than 15 Pascal. And the option says ensuring the ambient pressure in the room is a minimum 15 Pascal. It says in the room, over here it says between rooms. So that words have changed the meaning. So I will not choose this as my right option. Then I'm left with only one option, that's A, which is my closest option. So I'll have to find why that is the closest option, because it clearly says protective equipment. The first line says anteroom allows staff and visitors to change into and dispose of personal protective equipment and clothes used on entering and leaving rooms when caring for infectious patients. Clean and dirty workflows within the space hence should be considered for separation. That's the clothes and everything need to be kept separate, the used ones while entering and while leaving. It should be separated. So my correct answer over here is A. Very good, guys. Excellent. The way you have done, excellent. Now let's go for the third question. What is the basic principle of flexible design? I'll give you 2 minutes. Go through it. It's very clear and easy one. 2 minutes for you. Meanwhile, any questions you can type in the comment box and I'll make sure that I'll answer that for you. What is the basic principle of flexible design? So your question is like, why do you need this flexible design? Why it keeps on changing? You'll have to find the reason for that. So quickly go read it and understand it. That's all we need. 1 minute to go. Exactly 30 seconds left. It's a very simple one, so I don't think so you guys will require much in-depth explanation for this. It's very simple. It's there in the first part of the paragraph itself. Perfect. 10 seconds. I'll show you where exactly the answer is. It clearly says in healthcare operational policies change frequently. So in healthcare, the policies keeps on changing. What is the reason for that? The average cycle may be as little as 5 years. This may be the result of management change, government policy, turnover of key staff, or change in the marketplace. So according to the changing situations in the market, in the current staff turnovers and other things, the correct answer would be changing healthcare policies regularly to match changes in marketplace, because the B option, which says designing healthcare facilities with strict adhere means comply to current policies. Nowhere it says, it just says about policies, one word we can find over here, which clearly says flexible design refers to planning models that can not only adequate respond to contemporary operational policies but also have the inherent flexibility to adapt to a range of alternative proven and forward looking policies. It doesn't say any current policies. So that is not a match. Creating system which match current policy and can adjust to other possible guidelines, even you will not find this information in this paragraph. So the correct answer, the closest option over here is C. Next one. When prescribing antibiotics for a human bite, what should the medical professional remember? So, which means when you're prescribing antibiotics for a human mind or human bite, what a person should keep in their mind. That's something you have to understand. This is a paragraph. I'll give you 2 minutes. Go through it. Exactly 2 minutes. Last 1 minute. Okay, last 10 seconds. Now, by this time, I believe everyone got the answers. Now, the question says when prescribing antibiotics for a human bite, what should the medical professional remember? First option says not all patients should be given antibiotics given the nominal infection risk. So, my keywords are patients and nominal infection risk. I'll go and find, can I find somewhere this word? I'll look for this. Okay, now you guys might have also checked. So, please make sure that you comment your answers in this. This will make things more easy for you. Okay. Now, it says over here, some authors suggest that all patients with human bite should be commenced on antibiotic prophylaxis given the high risk of infection. Now, this says not all patients should be given antibiotics given the nominal risk infection risk, which doesn't match at all. Completely irrelevant. This information is not at all given. The bacterium Streptococcus spp is the most common. Now, this is a modal verb, most, which is giving the surety, the severity of the statement is too high. So it says most common in the patients. But over here, you will have to find the keyword over here is Streptococcus spp. You will have to find where can I find Streptococcus. So I find it over here, which is given. So I'll read from the nearest punctuation. It says cultures of human bites are typically polymicrobial. Oh, my nearest punctuation starts from mixed. So it starts mixed aerobic and anaerobic organisms are common, with the most common isolates including Streptococcus spp and Echinella corridans, which occurs in up to 1/3 of isolate. It doesn't say it is the most common. It is one of the common isolates. So that's why this option is also eliminated. This information is there, but not exactly what is given over here. But Echinella cordons is not susceptible. Now, according to the medical terminology, susceptible means sensitive. Now, clearly says Echinella cordon is not sensitive to several antibiotics often used for skin infection, which I can find it over here. The choice of antibiotic therapy should cover E. cordons, which is resistant. My not susceptible synonym matches with the word resistant, are often used for skin and soft tissue infection. So my correct answer over here is C. Got it? Now, last question, guys. Give your best shot. The extract inform us that a model of care. Now, this is the paragraph. Exactly 2 minutes. Go for it. Give your best shot and get the right answers. Perfect. Exactly 1.5 minutes. Go for it. So exactly 30 seconds left. Go for it. This one you should get it correct. But I believe by now you understood what kind of approach is required for this. Also at the end, I'll tell you what you need to focus when you want to improve your reading skills. Perfect. 8 seconds left. Now, let's understand the options one by one. C option says involves the development of a project management tool. Now, do I find anything related to project management? I'll quickly go and check. Okay, I find it over here. Project management, which I can see in the last line. But what does it say? Developing a MOC is a project. Developing MOC is a project, and as such, now since it is a project, as such, should follow a project management methodology. But does it say it involves a development of project management tool? No. It says MOC is a project. That's why we should follow a project management methodology. It doesn't say about any development. So this option is eliminated. It is only implemented at certain times and places. Do you find anywhere about certain? Now, many people will have a doubt. It's given in the last line because most of students do ask me. It says it aims to ensure people get the right care at the right time, by the right team, and in the right place. This is just giving the characteristics of MOC, why it is designed. Your question is the extract inform us that the model of care, and it doesn't mean it is only implemented. Only is a model verb, which shows the severity of the sentence. It is not only implemented at certain time and place. Nowhere it is given, but should include its own application assessment as mentioned over here. Development of a new MOC does not finish when the model is defined. It must encompass means include implementation means application, and evaluation, which means assessment. So should include its own application and assessment. So these were the series of 5 questions which we solved today. I believe you got a little bit idea what kind of approach you need when you need to be calm. You don't need to read one line of the paragraph and then come to the options, then again read another paragraph and again come to the options. Don't do that. Try to understand the overall meaning and try to eliminate the options. Things will be easy for you. Now, many students have got this problem. Now, the problem over here is many people feel like I'm not able to focus because when I read question and then when I come back to the paragraph, I forget what was the question. And when I read the paragraph again, I come back to the options, I forget what I read over there. That's because you're not focusing on developing your short-term memory. Now, how the short-term memory can be developed? You will have to make sure every day you read an article, multiple type of articles. Do not just focus on your OET materials. Focus on magazines, focus on articles, focus on medical journals. Make sure you read every day one article, and after reading it, close that book. Like around 10 to 12 minutes you should take to read around 650 words. After that, close the book and then try to write a summary. Try to recollect what you read. When you practice this for minimum 21 to 22 days, that will become a habit for you. And then you see how magic works for you in reading. Things will be more easy. You'll be able to understand more better. Okay. For more lessons like this, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, share with your friends, and subscribe and hit the bell icon so that any notifications you get for our channel, it will be posted to you and you will come to know when is the next lesson. So we'll have a series of lessons for OET, IELTS, DHA, HAD, CBT. Whole week you'll be occupied. So you can also tell your other friends who are pursuing other courses, nursing examinations. Our focus is more on nursing examinations. So make sure you spread the word to your friend as well so that even they benefit. Perfect. Thank you so much for joining. And guys, have a beautiful weekend ahead. Bye, people.